Aries, welcome to your reading for 2016. This is an in-depth reading, and this is for Aries who are born in the second 10 days of your sign. So basically from March 31st to April 9th, if you're born between those days and even on those days, then this video is for you. It's for Aries Decan too. And of course, like I've said during this whole entire series, you can feel free to watch all three sections for Aries, but chances are this one will resonate for you if you're born between those days, March 31st to April 9th. So let's get started. I think it's going to be very much a transition year for you. A lot of like transitioning and new things coming in. You start off with the Death card. Now, this deck I'm using is really cool. It has 4 of the major Arcana cards from the tarot in the deck, along with the 52 playing cards. And the Death card is all about transition. It's not a bad card. It's a really good card. It's all about like letting new things in and just letting the old go away. You have a 9 here as well, which is definitely all about letting go of the old. When we have 9s, sometimes we can hold on to old things that just no longer serve us, that have no benefit to us whatsoever, and that would definitely be the Death card as well. Sometimes the Death card comes in and takes things away from us that we just don't need anymore, extra baggage or just old beliefs that we have, things that we believe that we don't need to believe, tools that we have, even jobs that we have, people in our lives. All those things could go away this year, but again, it would be very beneficial. I've always believed that the Death card is a very positive card because, again, we always end up in a better position. It takes out the old, rotten stuff. I mean, look at, even on this deck, it's like a nasty skeleton on a horse. So, who wants that, riding around? So it gets that stuff out of your life. And the next card you have is the 3 of Clubs. Very interesting that it follows up the Death card there, because 3 of Clubs is all about second chances. That's simply what the card means. Is a second chance card. It brings second chances to our lives, and this could be in a lot of ways. So what does this have to do with the Death card, and why is it interesting that it comes up next to the Death card? Well, it does say that, like I said, letting go of the old and all this comes up, but it does say that you're going to be encountering similar situations that as you have in the past. You have a Jack coming up as well, which is sometimes Jacks can experience a lot of things from the past. And with the 3 of Clubs, what you would want to do is when you encounter this similar situation, or it could be a number of similar situations coming up, you want to handle it differently. You want to not use any of those old tools, any of those old things that you've held on to. There are new, better ways to handle these situations that are going to be happening to you, coming up to you this year, and you want to use the new ways, the better ways of handling anything you encounter. Like I said, this card can bring in old relationships. It can, second chance with an old relationship. It can be a test sometimes as well. Like, if an old relationship, old flame comes back into your life, but they weren't right for you the first time, and you fall for it again, then you're definitely, things can definitely happen because of that, and that wouldn't be so positive. So this card can come in and say, yeah, you're gonna get a second chance, but this time you have to set some rules and really decide if it's really what you want. And it's like the universe is testing you, saying, did you really learn from like the past 8 years of your life? Did you really learn what you're supposed to do? And you have to you have to ask yourself that question, really. If you did, it's it's an interesting thing, like I said, that it came up next to that card like that. Next, you have the King of Diamonds coming in, feeling very much like a leader. This is even earning more money, making more money at your job, feeling like a leader at your job, going for leadership type positions. For those of you that have a business, you're going to have a great year with a card like this. You could really step into this kind of King of Diamonds power. And really kind of do some great things, do some damage in business as well. King of Diamonds is an incredible card. He's an incredible business person. Again, I don't attach sex to my card, so it doesn't matter if you're male or female. This will benefit you through the entire year. You don't have to worry about that. But the King of Diamonds has one flaw, and that flaw is that he is very reactive. So just watch that. Don't make too quick decisions without thinking, because the King of Diamonds, he is very successful in life because, again, he just makes very quick decisions, and he's great at those quick decisions. But sometimes if he allows anger to creep in or fear or anything like that, he can start making decisions and he can go the other direction. He can start making really bad decisions that cause him to to totally lose everything that he's got. We see CEOs all the time, completely collapsing and making horrible decisions, and it's because they allow fear and things like that to control themselves. So don't allow that to happen with this card, but embrace the positive qualities of this card, which is being able to react quickly, but also do it out of love, obviously, not fear. Next, you have the Jack of Hearts. Some of you could have an admirer coming in if you're single this year. This card can definitely indicate an admirer, somebody who's interested in you coming in. I always say with the Jack of Hearts, you would probably know who this person is because, the Jack of Hearts, even when they're trying not to be obvious, they can be very obvious. And again, usually the Jack of Hearts, it's coming in it's a positive position. So usually you would have a good idea, or you would definitely know who this person is at the very least. But they would be a lot of fun, very caring, and a really good person. So be on the lookout for that. On the other side of this, Jack of Hearts can come in when we're not having enough fun in our lives. This has definitely come up for a lot of signs over the past 6 months or so that I've been reading. That a lot of these signs need to have a lot more fun in their lives. It's an important part of our the attraction process, and not becoming too serious in life. A lot of people have become very serious. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. Just go on Facebook for a little while and you'll see lots of craziness. People being way too serious, freaking out over all these things, everything that's going on, which there's no doubt it's chaos, but the reactions have become just as extreme as what we are experiencing. So this card can say, hey, you know what, you need to take some time to relax for yourself, to separate, to not think about things. And the good news about this card is sometimes when we do that, when we separate from situations and we just allow ourselves to go and have fun, if we're looking for answers, if we need solutions to a problem, anything like that, when we go and we separate and we stop thinking about it, that's sometimes when the answers come to us, when we learn exactly what we needed to learn, or where it just an idea pops into our head that solves all our problems. So if you have any hobbies that you enjoy, if you enjoy going out or anything like that, definitely make those things a priority this year, because that separation is what helps the Jack of Hearts become very successful in life. Is that he knows when to go have fun, or just when to separate. Again, if you like fishing, whatever you like to do, uh, whatever, jumping out of planes, doesn't matter. If you have any hobbies, definitely take advantage of them this year, because that's kind of like where I feel your answers are going to come from, just that separation time. Next, you have the Nine of Hearts. Love the Nine of Hearts. It's very similar to the Nine of Cups in the tarot, and it represents getting what you want. It's a wish card, wishing for something, getting it, having it happen. So that is really great. But again, nines can also come in and tell us that we're holding on to something. So sometimes, it's funny because I see this, and when have pulled this card in my videos, people say, hey, I got the wish card, but nothing happened. I didn't get what I wanted. Why? Well, that's the little piece that's missing that a lot of the other psychics and stuff don't fill you in on, is that sometimes with nines we have to let something go, and if you don't let that go, you can't get your wish. And you have to be 100% committed as well with this card. So if you're wishing for a better job, then this card says you'll get what you want. But if you're only applying to one place every other month and you're not really giving it your all, it's not going to come in. But with the Nine of Hearts, if you do give it all your all, then you'll get a ton of people interested in hiring you for a position. That's just an example. It goes for everything. Nine of Hearts represents everything in your life. So any situations where you're stuck, kind of give it your all. Really prove that you want it, and you'll get it with this card. And finally, you have the Seven of Spades. Seven of Spades, simply internal fears that don't exist. That's what this card represents. So if you have any fears, definitely don't operate out of fear this year, especially with that King of Diamonds. You really don't. You want to operate from a place of love this year, and positive thinking. But the Seven of Spades is rather weak. They're internal fears that don't exist, that we have, that we don't need to even rely on. So just know, if you have any fears, or if any old situations come up and they look like scary things that happened to you in the past, just know that you're kind of making it up in your head in one way or another, and you just need to allow it to pass, and think positively. And again, remember, you know, with that second chance card, the three of clubs, you now's your chance to turn that around, anything that comes in, and make it a more positive experience. But again, it's up to you whether you do that or not. So it looks like a great year. Thank you for watching, and also again, feel free to watch the other two videos for Aries. You know, parts of them might resonate with you more or less, but thank you for watching.